Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the elect. And all the brothers pushing this work in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Thamayim from James Toronto coming at you with another video. So, for all the brothers who's been in the blue pill section, blue and red pill section, the manosphere section for the last 10 years or so, might know who this chick is. She's new on the scene, and she was out here giving, I think, men advice on how to get women, or on how to get men. But she's also Muslim, so this is pretty much, I'm gonna lean towards the mindset that she has, and most women on this side, which are natural whores, will try to, and some of these simp men, right, will try and look down on this woman because she gives men advice and how to. You know what? Let me read it. Influencer Sadia Khan, who charges men 4 grand or 6 grand, sorry, to learn how to find high value women, is caught being the side chick of a married man. So let's stop right there. All right. She gives men advice on how to get high value women, right? And first thing first, she's not supposed to be doing that, teaching men anything, right? Other than she's supposed to be teaching women on how to be good women, right? And how to be submissive to their husbands. And when she speaks like she's very articulate. She's very submissive, and she is very submissive, right? And says that she's been caught being the side chick of a married man. So this is the problem that I have with with these people that's trying to come for her, right? In the scriptures, it talks about a man can have multiple women, right? She knows her position, right? She sees that man, and she knows that man is in her eyes, a high value man, okay? And he has a wife, and she knows appetite for men, because she's from a culture where men are allowed to have multiple wives, right? And the woman who's trying to expose her is in the she's in the Western mindset, but Sarah Sadia Khan is in the Eastern mindset. You see, most women on this side always talk about monogamy, but when they come to you with their pussy all beat up, multiple children, and they still want you to be monogamous to them. This is a woman with no children, right? And she doesn't mind being a so-called a concubine or a second wife to that man. Because when you go into the video on her and the wife's so-called fiance, the conversation that they have, she literally told the wife, "Listen, when you are pissing him off and stressing him out, he comes to me." Right? And she pretty much make him feel like a man, and then she sends him back home to this damn dragon. All right. So Sarah Sadia Khan is a righteous woman. The only part that's not righteous is her giving men advice, right? But they're trying to like call her a hypocrite. She's not a hypocrite, right? She's from a culture where men are put on a pedestal, and this is what she's doing. She found a man. Okay, she's the man has a wife, but it's allowed. She's also a Muslim, right? It's allowed in their culture. Also, it's allowed in the Bible that the men can have multiple women, and she understands that. But then when you go into these people, these so-called influencers, these YouTube idiots, trying to bring her down. Let's get right to the scriptures, all right? I can go to the next slide in here. You know what? Let's go there. This is her.
After I can pick if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day and your birthday.
Okay, well,
and
we'll
the days
see.
After.
Okay.
I've been in situations where he's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me after.
This is the biggest scandal.
Right? So she's pretty much telling the wife, when you're stressing your husband out, he comes to me, okay? For comfort, right? He comes to me for him to pretty much as a picker upper, right? Because you know how wives are in this society. They do nothing but stress men out. That's why when men have one wife, they get fucking old. They get gray hairs, right? And every man needs one of these women like Sadia Khan, man, right? Minus her giving men ideas and and how to get women and all that stuff, you know. Minus that, she's a righteous woman, man, right? You can't show me in the scripture where it talks about a woman not being allowed to share a man, right? And she understands that this is what makes her righteous over all you other women, because your whole monogamy aspect, that's to pretty much put the woman on a pedestal, right? When you think of monogamy, think of women, right? And this woman right here, Sadia Khan, she understands that a high value man it has to be shared. She understands that, right? Yes, she makes her money and all that stuff, giving you men fucking advice, but at the same time, she knows her place as a woman. Okay, let's go right to the scriptures, man. Let's get examples of husbands, men having multiple wives in the Bible. Let's see. Let's get some examples, right? Actually, you know what? KJV, because we know that. And another thing, Sadia Khan comes from a culture where cousins marry cousins. All right, she's Pakistani, and over here in Canada, you people over here in America, you don't know anything about other people's cultures. You just run your mouths. You just see people for what they look like. You don't step out of your neighborhood for 2 seconds. That's all you niggas know. Okay, over here in Canada, we're exposed to all different kind of cultures. So we learn about different people. We learn about different ideologies, right? And how people move. So we get to study them, right? And everything that these Muslims do come right back to the scriptures anyways. So let's get our patriarch. Let's get our patriarchs first. It says, yeah, yes, several men in the King James Version it's all Bible, okay? Particularly in the Old Testament, not just the Old Testament, right? Had multiple wives, examples including Abraham, Jacob, David, Malak Dawad, and Solomon, right? And it goes into how much wives they had. You can go into Gideon also, okay? It says here, this is Deuteronomy 21:15. If a man have 2 wives, right? Then they're gonna be like, oh, this is the Old Testament. No, this is the law that we live by. This is all the law. The first 5 books is the law, right? And throughout the whole Bible, the laws throughout the whole Bible. But this is the standard in which we live by as Israelites. And you know, she might be an Israelite. Who knows? If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated. So this always happens. So this is the scripture that's that these 2 women are going in. These women are going through it right now. One's loved and one's hated. Right now, Sadia Khan, the husband loves Sadia Khan way more than he loved that dragon that he has him. And guess what? That dragon is not gonna leave that man. Wanna know why? Because Sadia Khan is most likely hotter than his wife, and she's gonna be like, I'm not gonna leave my man to go to Sadia Khan. So she'll be pissed off for a little bit, but then she's gonna know that, oh shit, other attractive women love my husband. I'm not leaving this man, right? So you can hear her coming at Sadia Khan, but you never hear her talk about divorce, because she's not going to talk about divorce. And most likely that woman's also a Muslim woman too, and she knows the laws that these Muslim people go by, but she just wants to make a big stink, right? And try to bring down Sarah Khan's value so she can get the upper hand. We know how we women think. Anyways, and they have born him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be when he maketh his son to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. So that goes back to Jacob and his wives, you know, because those examples of women hating women, because due to the fact that a man has multiple wives, even if it's lawful, they still get mad, man, right? Because they all want to be number one, right? They all want to be number one. Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, right, her raiment, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So this is another example of the scriptures telling you that a man can have multiple wives, right? And this fucking monogamy has to come to an end real soon, right? Isaiah 4:1 is going to happen, right? Right in front of you women's very eyes. And I want to see what you're going to do, right? It says here, then shall the kingdom, Matthew 25. Nah, that's not going to happen. It's not talking about it. Isaiah 4:1 there. Here's another example. And I gave thee thy masters. Okay, that's not it. Right, Gideon. This is Judges 8:30. And Gideon had 70 sons. That's 60 and 10. That's 7. That's 70. Right, of his body gotten, for he had many wives. Hear that? Gideon had many wives. Okay? So that's another example of man having multiple wives. And I'm gonna go into the book of I think talks about Eli. Is it Eli? When is it? I'm gonna go into Hannah, because Hannah was a second wife also. 2 Chronicles 13:21. And Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives, and begat 22 sons and 16 daughters. Right? These are all Israelite men. Right? Even Esau got partook in this, and now he's the biggest pussy on the planet talking about monogamy. He's the reason why all these women are thinking like this monogamy garbage, right? And Lamech said unto his 2 wives, the name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. Okay, even Esau got down. And we're not even going to go into King David, right? Because people always talk about King David and stuff, but other men in the scriptures of the same lineage and same nation had multiple wives also. It's not just the kings, right? Rich men had wives. 2 Chronicles 11:21. And Rehoboam loved Maachah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and his concubines. For he took 18 wives and 80 concubines, and begat 28 sons and 80 daughters. All right. Let's see. This is 1 Samuel 1 and 2. I think this is going into Hannah. Yes. And now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zuph, an Ephratite. Okay? And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, and Hannah had no children. All right, let's get into this story right here. 1 Samuel 1. Okay? Because this is similar to this story right here. Samuel, the 1st chapter. Okay, because this is the one I was looking for. It shows you how cruel women really are. Right? It says in verse 3, and this man went, so here, and Hannah had no children, right? Verse 2. So verse 3, and the man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. So these are 2 wicked niggas, but that's a different story. And when the time was that Elkanah offered to give Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portion, but unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. right? So they were making fun of her, man. And this is not a light thing. This is very grievous, right? This is very very grievous, man, because back then to not have children was a big. It was frowned upon, man. And this is what women really wanted. They wanted sons, and mainly sons and daughters, right? To carry on that legacy for that man, right? And plus they wanted to be mothers, right? They wanted to love their children, cleave on to their children until it's time for them to, grow up. They wanted that closeness. They wanted to feel that closeness to their sons and daughters, man. And as he did so year by year when he went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat, right? So was this man had two wives. Was he unrighteous? Right? He had his wife Hannah and Penina, right? And he served the Lord daily. So did this make him righteous? Okay, so when you go into the New Testament now, a bishop must have one wife. Okay, this does not talk about any other men other than the bishop, right? This is talking about men who's supposed to serve the Lord, right? Not interested. Let's get that first Titus. And when you go into the story, these women are also sleeping around, right, in the church. These are Israelites, the same people who in the beginning that you see here had multiple wives. This is them. This is the same people, right? It says here, 1 Timothy 2, 3 and 2. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. Right? Not given to wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, be patient, and not a brawler, be not covetous. Okay? One that ruleth with his own house, having his children, is subjection with all gravity. Okay, so let me read some more. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh Shemashai? So, the reason why these men Paul was telling them Timothy was telling them hey, you should have one wife, because if you have multiple wives, it's gonna be hard for you to deal with the affairs of the Lord. Okay, but for the men who weren't bishops, it wasn't even an instruction for them, because they can have multiple wives. Yes, they can serve the Lord, right? That's Israelite men. This is what we were meant to do. But if this is not his house, if this is not his lot, right? Let's say he's a carpenter. Let's say he's a businessman, and he wanted to have multiple wives. He can, right? He literally can, because this is not his house. He's not a bishop. He's not a priest, right? His affairs is not just to the Lord. He has other multiple affairs that you have to deal with. But when you're a bishop, your affairs is just for the Lord, man, right? So if you're gonna be, if your affairs are just for the Lord, you cannot be distracted. Multiple wives will distract you. One wife is enough to distract you, right? Because let's say that like the same situation like Hannah, that's gonna bring you down also, man. When a woman is fucking depressed, it's the most annoying shit in the world, right? So this story back here with this lady here, because I call her a lady, she is a lady in my eyes, because there's nothing that she's doing here that's wrong. Zero. You can't point out something that she's doing here that's wrong. She's sleeping with a so-called married man. That married man is allowed to have multiple wives as long as Sadia is single, all right? And she knows the drill. She's not a side chick. She's a second wife. Right? So you can't even listen to these niggas, because they're terrible, man, when it comes to and they're laughing, oh man, that she is a great side chick. Sadia Khan convincing the married man that she is a great side chick, right? So they have all these text messages. She's trying to expose,
All right, guys.
Sadia Khan or whatever the case may be, but you cannot, because there's nothing that she's doing that's wrong here, right? You people in your stupid monogamy doesn't work. right? For so-called high value men in this world and men in general, right? If you choose to have one wife, you choose to have one wife. But men like this, I'm sure this man she's not gonna just sleep with a bum, right? A woman like that, she's gonna sleep with a man that has substance, okay? According to this world, he might be a businessman, most likely he is, and this is her type, right? So she sees a man that's in her eyes valuable. She's gonna grab onto that man, man. So I say shalom. There's nothing that Sadia Khan did that was wrong, and you people, and I brought out scriptures to show you people that nothing that she did was wrong. I could have even gone into the Muslim religion and show you. You know what? In Islam, can a man have multiple wives? Because she's Muslim. I'm just gonna bring it up. Yes, in Islam, a man is permitted to have multiple wives, a practice known as polygyny, polygyny, though it is restricted though it is restricted to a maximum of 4 wives. This allowance comes with strict conditions, requiring the man to treat all wives with absolute justice and equality in terms of financial support and other support of their material life. If a man fears he cannot be fair to multiple wives, he is obligated to marry only one. So I'm gonna bring the scripture out again. If a man wants another wife, I just brought it out, but back into Exodus 21, right? And that's the same thing that was that I just read from the Quran, not from the Quran, but the definition of whatever, or the story I'm trying to get into. If a man, this is Exodus 21:10. If a man take another wife, her food, her raiment, and duty of marriage shall he not diminish. So the same thing I just read in the Quran here. Well, in Islam, right? You have to treat them with absolute justice and fairness, right? You have to provide for them their clothes, which goes into multiple things. Food goes into multiple things, and house or houses. And everyone can live under the same roof, or they don't have to live under the same roof, okay? That's another thing that you women are always trying to talk about. Oh, he has to provide a house for them. No, he does not. You women work, and you make your own money, so you can afford these things, okay? The most important thing in this relationship is the husband, okay? So I'll say shalom, man, shalom.